Hey everyone. So today I want to talk a little bit about denominations and Catholicism because we get messages about this from time to time. By and large, they're incredibly positive. One of the most wonderful reviews we've ever had on iTunes when it was just myself and Matt is they said, these guys are unapologetically Catholic, but still incredibly accessible to anybody regardless of their Christian denomination. And that is really what we are always shooting for. You know, we will talk about Catholic-related things, and we will come at things from a Catholic point of view. Matt from a Latin Catholic point of view, me from a Byzantine Catholic point of view, just because that's inevitably our own experience and our own way of looking at the world. So it's inevitably going to colour our understanding of what Lewis is writing, although at the same time we've try to enter into Lewis's own theological presuppositions as we are pulling apart the text. Every now and again we get a message from somebody that is very unhappy that we're Catholic and that we occasionally bring up Catholic things, even when it's demanded by the text. A little while ago we had a message from somebody complaining that we were talking about purgatory when we were reading The Great Divorce, which I found a little strange because Lewis says that the grey town is purgatory. So kind of feel like a discussion of purgatory is really demanded, particularly considering that Lewis said that he wasn't actually even trying to speak about what he believes happens after we die. He said that it was a supposal, much like the Chronicles of Narnia. But I just want to read a few messages that we've had from people just to show you what it is we're shooting for. These people have experienced our podcast as we would like them to experience it. The first message I'd like to read is one that we received from a guy called Frank. And he wrote to us and said, "I'd like to commend you on the tone you take with interdenominational matters on the podcast. I'm a Protestant. My Catholic friends will tell me that I'm just not yet Catholic. And I've appreciated the balance and respect you show towards different denominational views while still being unashamedly Catholic." And I do hope that that's a good description of our podcast, that each co-host is unashamedly faithful to their denomination's views, but at the same time showing openness and balance and respect to views from other denominations. Next up, I wanted to read a review by Kimberly. She left this on iTunes, and it's entitled Absolute Favorite Podcast. I love Pints with Jack. When I discovered Pints with Jack through a talk that Andrew Lazo gave, I had no idea that I would be completely sucked into the Pints with Jack verse until I would want to be a patron supporter. Within a handful of episodes, I was sold. I love that David, Matt, and Andrew see this podcast as a ministry and that they enable me to walk with them and other Christians from various Christian backgrounds to journey together towards the fullness of Christ. They bring a deep level of intelligence and insight into the discussion of Lewis's works, while also bringing experts in to discuss every facet of Lewis's scholarship imaginable. As someone from a Reformed background who loves learning from various Christian faith perspectives, I feel like these guys bring me a feast of Orthodox views that enhance my walk with Christ and draw me deeper into communion with Him and my brothers and sisters, whether Catholic, Protestant, or Orthodox. Thank you guys for all you're doing. I would give it 10 stars if I could. One of the things that quite surprised me as we've continued the podcast is the number of Presbyterians that we have. It seems that Lewis seems quite popular in Reformed circles. Here's one of the reviews that we received. I'm a Reformed pastor, and this is a show about C.S. Lewis, an Anglican, hosted by two Catholics and an Episcopalian. Not usually a recipe for greatness. But this show has been one of the most encouraging, challenging, and enlightening podcasts to which I have listened. The way that David, Matt, and Andrew examine the works of Jack and tie them into our everyday world is incredible. I have also had the benefit of learning a great number of details about the works of C.S. Lewis I didn't understand, and I've enjoyed worship with the body at large. And likewise, we had this message from Clayton. I just want to thank you for your ministry. I'm not Catholic. I am Reformed and am, as you advised in your second episode, convinced because of the truth I find in it. But I appreciate your perspective and authentic faith in Christ and the Catholic Church. I will not presume to try and separate your faith in Christ from your membership of the Catholic Church. I know how deeply our creeds are ingrained in our relationship with the Lord. But I am encouraged and challenged by hearing Catholics who know their faith. The reason I'm writing to you is that I want to be of mutual encouragement to you. We absolutely disagree on a number of incredibly important, although non-essential points of Christian doctrine, yet I am convinced that your ministry is valuable and needed. I know that we've never met, but I feel connected to you and I have a tremendous amount of brotherly love for you, as it is apparent that you are indeed a disciple of Jesus and are working to see the Great Commission accomplished. So as I said, I want to read some of these messages and reviews because these listeners are receiving from the podcast what we were hoping that they would receive. They are experiencing it in the way that we want them to experience it. And so if you think we can do this better, please shoot us a message. Let us know how we can do that. But hopefully together we can continue going further up and further in. Cheers.